After a chaotic extended premiere, a dramatic cauldron session, and an intense elimination, there was only one way the Boulets could top it. And it turns out that was by revealing that the premiere was a complete waste of time and meant nothing. I'm Grady.
I'm Zach.
And I'm Charisse.
And this is Highlights. So episode 2 of Dragula Titans was titled Revenge of the Witch, and the witch did in fact get her revenge this episode, and I loved every second of it. We open up with everybody reacting to Abora's elimination, and not only are they all talking not so great about Abora, but Erica, for some reason, completely blames Abora for her being in the bottom, which to me is delusional.
It was completely unrelated. Like, it wasn't like they were judged as teams.
Yeah,
Scandalous.
Exactly. She was like, she was my partner. She dragged me down. That's why I'm in the bottom. But they were judged individually, completely. So that didn't make any sense to me. And she wore like footy pajamas. That's her floor show look. I don't know what she thought was going to happen. But then everybody talks about Abora. They talk about, Avis talks about how different Abora was and how she had, changed into like this kind of like self-hating negative mess. All of this stuff gets talked about. And then Abora walks in with her coffee, as I've often done at the office.
So I was like, I thought being a self-loathing bitch was just Abora's brand. Like, sometimes that's who we are as people. No?
Yeah, I thought that too. Yes. I was like, was she ever not these things?
Right. Were these things a surprise to you?
And my favorite is like Hoso kind of defending Abora, but also not really trying hard to defend her.
Yeah, it's almost like she was on the fence and then kind of just made it like, oh, I really wanted to see what else she had to bring, though.
I'm so heartbroken.
Yeah, what it was, I think, is she knew Hoso does this thing. She knows when she knows the cameras are rolling, and it's like she edits herself.
Yeah.
And she was speaking like, okay, Abora's gone, but Abora's gonna watch this.
Yeah.
That's how she got so far into her last season, and we liked her, and then we started to see the real her, and I was like, oh, so you're kind of a bitch. Got it.
So my favorite part was the third leg of this strange table when it all started as, well, I mean, Kendra called it an entanglement, which is also, a word for this. What's happening?
It's a valid word.
I'm not trying to label anything.
Like a Jada Pinkett Smith situation.
Exactly. So the quote starts with, as an empath.
Yes.
And like everyone rolls their eyes.
I remember this. Oh my God.
So then Astrid says she saw Abora winning the whole thing. In whose world?
Not Charissa's.
Yeah, Astrid too is another one who is like coming out of left field in defense of Abora. It's just like you really didn't like her, and it was very evident. So like I don't know why we're putting on this show
because Astrid's doing it for Hoso for some reason. But again, Hoso's already dating some mystery fourth person.
Right.
Like
again, Hoso just seems like she is a master manipulator of people in her life. And it's really unbecoming of her to see it on TV. All these people trapped in her web. Yeah. It's very telling.
Oof.
I am loving watching Melissa and Kendra break it down in real time, though.
The narrators of the season.
Yes.
I want Melissa to be the narrator of the whole show all season. I could listen to her talk about the drama all day.
Everyone's reaction when Abora walked back in was so fake. even Astrid, I was like, why are you? This hug is making me awkward, and I'm not even in the room.
So good to see
now. Right? Yeah.
So Abora wasn't eliminated after all. The entire vote, that whole cauldron scene, everything we went through, watching her drop through the trap door, which I guess they just used on her to test it.
She like gets to the bottom. JK, don't go anywhere.
Whoa, when you want the children to behave, you have to punish a few of them in front of the group, obviously.
That's very true.
Make an example of them.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was all basically to stir up drama.
Thank goodness.
Really get things fired up between everybody. So now they can actually start the competition, which is hilarious. So
as a viewer, I was kind of irritated because we talked at length last week about her being eliminated and like all of the drama that went on, and none of it meant anything because she's still there.
When I finished editing it, after we had then watched episode 2, and I'm listening to us talk about her being eliminated, like, oh, it would have been cool to see what else she had. Oh man, I wonder if she's gonna come back at some point, like all of this stuff. And I was just like slamming my face, and then I'm like going over the scoreboard, I'm like, Abora's eliminated, she's in 10th place, and I just wanted to stab my eye. So everybody gets taken to the main stage to be confronted with the Boulets via Zoom, and they get told what their challenge is. And this week they have to create witch looks, design witch shoes, and perform a witch lip sync. It's a witch triple threat. And they've done similar stuff to this in the past, so I was pretty excited to see how this would go. And it makes me wonder if these are all going to be kind of like elevated, revamped former challenges, maybe from previous seasons, which I also think would be cool.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So then they get taken to their fright feat, which is eating the hottest things in the shortest amount of time. And this was hilarious. At first I was like, this is a stupid fright feat, but they really delivered.
I didn't
like, no, this is
understand
great.
the shortest amount of time bit, because I feel like everyone like took each round at the same time, so I didn't really get that half of it.
It didn't really matter till the end. Yeah,
right.
I love that they called it Burn the Witch, and then literally like burnt them. It was
burned their
like
insides.
This was a no joke Scoville rating challenge.
Yeah. I believe they made it through like 11 levels.
They
If
did.
I was counting correctly. I had notes on what each thing was. I lost all those notes. That's unfortunate. But by the end of it, that's okay. But by the end of it, I don't think they really expected anybody to make it that far. So then they're just like, you know what, just eat everything again.
Eat them all.
Like,
Yeah, and now you're
as fast as you can.
Yeah.
But yeah, slowly and surely everybody like kind of taps out. But everybody taps out. Erica and Abora are battling out to the end. Abora seems to just kind of genuinely want to win the challenge to preserve her own safety.
Yes.
And Erica is doing it fueled by rage at Abora for some reason. And it was really bizarre, but I gotta give it to Erica because Erica really did the damn thing.
She did.
Abora did too,
did.
but Erica, man, like she just pushed herself right over the finish line, and that's great. She probably ended up in a hospital, but she was doing it.
Can I just say, like, if they do this kind of thing again, can they give them a tissue or something?
Yeah, that was gross.
It was the snot, I mean, I get it, it's Dragula, but it was not pleasant to watch.
Yeah.
What I have to say is that Coco is the realist. She had they had the sweetest words of encouragement for Erica. Like, just keep going, go to that place, you got this, girl. And she was just
they hit
cheering
Abora
on from the side. Who cares? Like, I just think it's fantastic. Like, sometimes all you need is that one person cheering you on besides yourself in your head being like, I got this, I got this, I got this.
Yeah. It was everybody who didn't vote for Erica to get eliminated that was cheering her on.
For sure. But here's the thing. She had a Bora up in her ear just telling her to throw up and telling her to give up. So she needed Coco in the other ear to tell her to keep going.
I would been like, why are you on my side of the table? Like, go back over there. What the hell's wrong with you?
That was probably my favorite part, is by the point, by the end point, Abora's eyes are just like red and sunken into her head. and she's just like, do it, Erica, I'm fine.
Right?
You can tap out whenever.
When's it gonna get hot?
Anywho's, Erica wins the fright feat, and then she gets a reward, which is a curse. The curse of baldness to one of her competitors, which everybody knew exactly who she was going to cast it upon. But the curse eliminates all wigs and headpieces from the competitor, which is cool, and I think would be really shocking for some of them. But she casts it on Abora. Why?
Fueled by rage.
Yeah.
Fueled by rage.
The most bizarre strategy. Because Abora is going to look the same with or without a wig.
Right. It was such a waste.
Yeah.
And then she said, what did she say? She says, like, to prove to them, like, that I'm not messing around. And it's just like, every time in similar programs, it's not about proving it to your competitors. They're not the ones judging you. And as we found out, them voting you off doesn't even matter anyway, because the Boulets will just bring you back. So the only ones you need to impress are them.
If she really wanted to be that bee, she should have picked Victoria.
For sure.
You know what I mean? I will say I would like an entire YouTube channel where it's just Coco teaching crafts she doesn't know how to do.
Oh my God, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna just take this whole punch of thingy and then you're gonna tie it together with some bread to make it look like it goes together. She needs to do every tutorial ever.
The Boulets looks much better to me than the premiere.
Yes.
More simple, but I did enjoy them quite a bit. I thought they looked fantastic.
It was giving Alien, which I was kind of into. I didn't really get Witch from it, but I got Alien. And I was like, I'm still here for it.
Yeah,
I got some Witch. There was some dead things on them, but they were beautiful and terrifying as usual. And that's all I need.
Yeah. They don't always dress for the challenges, and I guess that's just kind of based on whatever outfits they get designed and when they get them and all that stuff. But I like it when they do kind of dress up for the challenge, I will say. But, you know.
Well, they did mention in one of their interviews that they don't necessarily dress for the challenge because they don't necessarily want to upstage the competitors or it'll be like within the same vein, but it would be kind of weird if everybody's wearing, the red dress from
or is it they don't want the competitors to upstage them? Because RuPaul has a similar rule. Our guest judges are Bonnie Aarons from The Nun.
Yes.
Yeah, she's great. She's done other horror stuff too, but The Nun is what she's most known for and the most prominent in. And she's about to do The Nun 2, which is great. Good for her.
So excited.
Yes, and she's a big fan of Dragula, fan favorite judge from Dragula's past. I'm always happy to see her here. She loves being here. Bonnie's great.
For sure.
And Darren Stein, who was the first judge ever, I believe.
First guest judge, yeah.
Yeah.
From season 1.
Yeah. So good to see him there.
Looked very interesting.
He's dressed up before.
Yeah. Yes. Which, hey, fashion, do your thing. Do you look, live your authentic self, do it. Art is art. art is subjective.
I'm always here for netting across the face, though.
Getting to the floor show itself. So they performed this lip sync performance to Shoes by
It's some shoes.
Yeah, by whoever the hell sings it. I can't remember who it is.
Kelly?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the episode for the 3rd time this morning.
That's awesome. And where is Kelly these days? Anyways, it's the real question. And why weren't they a judge? But
That would have been epic.
But the lip sync is long. This song does not have a lot of lyrics to lip sync, and after a while, I was like, "Please God, can we just move on to the individual shots?"
That's why it was heavy on the performance, and I don't think that all of the monsters understood that. Did they listen to the song?
That's true. That's
before
true.
they hit the stage?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I just feel like it's that song is not the song you pick and go, I want to listen to all 4 minutes.
But on the flip side, there were contestants that turned it out for the whole
That's true.
song.
That is very
Kendra
true.
Killed
For
it.
sure.
Let's start with Eva because she's the one that picked. She's the picture I have up first, if that's okay with
All
you.
right.
Eva Destruction. Loved this.
Yes.
Yes.
This was phenomenal. I loved every bit of it. I love the entire outfit. I love her shoes with this.
The broomography.
Yeah, her
Love the
broomography.
shoes.
I was like, come on, color guard witch.
You know what I liked about her shoes is that, yes, they were kind of like spooky and Dragula, but they were also fierce. They sparkled. They were
Mhm.
shiny. They caught my
Yes.
attention because I like shiny things. I have a low attention
Yeah.
span. I was all about it. I was here for it. Beautiful.
She was fully realized, and I loved that.
I loved her shoes without the outfit. I loved her shoes with the outfit. I am going to make a pair of shoes out of some tattoo skin. Like, I loved these shoes. To a certain extent, this is what it, like, I imagine in my head when I think of a witch or like your like basic witch. And that would be my only note. But beyond that, she took this to a not basic level.
Yeah.
And I like it was so elevated from beyond your basic. Like I was so entertained by her performance.
Yes. Transported.
You know what I like about so many of her looks? I know this is probably very surface level, but I like that she incorporates her body hair in a way that just kind of
Yes.
pulls it all together. Because as another furry individual, it's something I'm very self-conscious of. So, Slay Queen, I'm here for it.
It's awesome. Representation matters, and
It truly does. It truly does.
Honestly, though, it is amazing to see incorporated in her drag in the same way that bearded queens are. Like it just adds a whole nother dimension of life and character. Like it's so weird that I don't even notice it as body hair until like way at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Hoso Teratoma.
I hate that I liked it. But
Okay.
I did.
You
I
did
thought it was
like it.
I thought it was really good.
I'm on the fence.
Go
I
on.
love these shoes. Love these shoes. But I kind of got Scary Animal from Pet Cemetery, which I really liked a lot.
The cat.
But I didn't necessarily get witch, even with the hat on. But I knew it was a witch challenge. Like I don't know. She looked incredible. The shoes were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know that I remember much from her performance, and I definitely didn't catch the bubble wand until they were on stage. So
Yeah, and the bubble wand didn't go with her outfit when you looked
No,
at
it didn't.
Which Seemed really
That's
bizarre to
why,
me.
yeah.
You know what might have made it more? So I really like this look, but I think what might have made it more quintessentially witch for me was that if she had taken that mask off and done something a little different to look more like a witch. I think the mask kind of drew into like an anamorph type costume instead, and kind of drew away from the witch for me.
Yeah, personally, I don't like this. I really like the hat.
Oh, I love the hat.
The hat's
And
fabulous.
that's where it ends for me. Like, if I take away the hat, I don't see a witch.
That's
right.
valid.
And I just like the shoes.
Which leads me to think, like, what would have happened if she had been cursed?
But she looks incredible.
Right?
No, for sure. She looks incredible.
The outfit as a whole is cool. It's great. But for the challenge, I don't know. The outfit doesn't read witch to me. I like the shoes, but I wouldn't look at them and be like, oh, a witch owns those shoes.
Exactly.
And she had this whole story as to why the witch wears the shoes and what the witch, and like all this stuff. But it's like, if you have to explain all that, it doesn't work.
Right.
And the bubble wand was so random to me. It didn't look like it went with the outfit. It was like a cheap little bubble wand that she just kind of waved around. And I don't know. They really raved about the bubble wand. And I was like, for what?
Ooh, props.
Right.
Yeah, I don't somewhere Jay Jolie is rolling in her, like she is so mad
in her coffin.
Yes.
Erica's like, I ate mealworms.
Yeah.
And you love this bubble wand.
Kendra Onyx, who, as she described it, I believe, was supposed to be a modern voodoo witch
that all the white ladies go to get.
Which, as she said it, I was
hexes.
like, yeah. Which, when she said it, I was like, I get it. You've seen American Horror Story, because it's exactly like pulled from American Horror Story. She like runs a hair salon, and she's like a modern voodoo witch. She's like trying to be Angela Bassett.
Exactly.
And it looks like a shirt Angela Bassett would have worn on the show. And that's where it ends. I don't get that vibe from the rest of this outfit at all.
Yeah. Arguably,
Maybe
Coco gave more of an Angela Bassett vibe than she did.
100%. And the shoes are started swearing. Losing the top. They're just so disconnected from the rest of this outfit.
Again, just like her monster of Frankenstein, I didn't feel like it was big enough.
Mhm.
I didn't feel like, compared to some of the other competitors, especially to see her standing next to some of the other competitors, it wasn't big enough.
Yeah, completely agree.
The shoulders weren't big enough. The feathers weren't big enough. I don't know.
Astrid, who I will say, I like this, but to me it gives more High Priestess or something.
Like Druid. It reads
Yeah.
like Druid to me.
Yeah, and I'm wondering if this is the inspiration for the outfit, but it reminds me of something from Yellow Jackets, which is a kind of a hot show right now. Okay. Anyways, there's something that looks almost exactly like this in that show.
Like, the look was okay.
Mm-hmm.
The performance was but this look was super familiar. I felt like we've already seen it. I feel like I've already seen the little lace on the side of her face. I feel like I've already seen the horns. I feel like I've already seen this color palette. Like, I know she was only there for like 2 episodes, but yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's true. Because when I saw it, because even though we did only have a brief interaction with her in last season, it's still, when I saw it, I was still like, oh, this is very Astrid. Like, this is kind of just what you do.
Right.
Almost like last week where it was like, oh, it looks like your alien armor again.
And that's the thing. It's all like, it's like she wears a ton of accessories.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything but the kitchen sink.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird
Maybe
style.
that's what it is. That drives me crazy about her style.
Yeah.
It's not for me.
Abora.
This was like
Okay.
Funhouse Clown Witch. I liked it.
Yeah. I loved this so much.
A wig she did not need.
If she had a wig, I don't think I would have liked it as much as I did.
Can you imagine it with that red wig she wore last week?
But I didn't realize that her performance was so like until they did the playback.
Yeah.
And I realized how little of certain performers were actually cut into the montage as far as editing time. And then also placement of crop of said shot. You know what I mean? Whether it was a full body shot or whether it was just neck up, etc.
Agreed.
And yeah, stunning when she was standing still. But that's basically all the shots that they contributed. I don't know.
Even the official photo they took for the Boulay Instagram, so good. Oh, it just looks fantastic. Erica Clash.
Mm.
All right, let's go.
The look was the performance was she's really just lucky that other people performed more poorly than she did this week.
Yeah, this was like bottom of the middle for me. It doesn't I wasn't like, oh, that's so cool. It was kind of like, okay, I feel like this is like your thing.
I found it stronger than last week, but
true.
Not revved up to where I think some of the other competitors are at already.
Yes, same note. It was also very small as far as conceptually. It was basically just a black latex outfit that she glued candy
onto. Yes.
Right. So small that she had to swallow maggots to make up
right to amp it up. No, for sure. And it was falling all over the stage when she was performing.
Melissa Be Fierce.
I didn't realize it was Melissa. So I kept kind of trying to like,
who's that woman?
Yeah, I kept trying to, I was like, who is that? Like, that's really, I thought, okay, so I think it's cool that she's trying things that maybe aren't part of her normal aesthetic. I think she's trying to swing big and hoping it lands right. But I definitely agree with what the Boulay said about like, hey, this is what you're known for. Don't stray too far from what works for you. Because I could definitely see that it wasn't necessarily a witch through her drag's lens. It was just a cool looking witch with really cool prosthetic.
I have a similar problem with her where like I don't necessarily read it as a witch.
Really?
Right out the
I
gate.
totally got witch like from this.
No, some of the things she does, I think, make it so, but the outfit by itself,
Are you talking about with the green like dress cape that she was wearing at the beginning with the hat, or when she strips down and takes everything off? Because with the hat, like I can see her being like a fairy nymph, whatever. I definitely, it almost reminded me of Frankie Doom's witch.
Yes.
And I really, so I love Melissa Be Fierce. I fell in love with Melissa Be Fierce on season 1. I watched the finale of season 1 over and over and over again to watch her filth and her glamour and Vander Von Odd's filth and glamour. Like that season finale was everything. I haven't seen Melissa Be Fierce yet. And I understand that people evolve and that drag changes and stuff, but I still see Eva Destruction from before. You know what I mean? And I don't necessarily get very much Melissa Be Fierce yet.
Yeah. I think it's just certain things have a problem. Like her broom is like a bouquet of flowers. And she's got flowers all over the hat. Yeah. Which is weird. So it's like a witch, but if a witch was like in a wedding.
And with her coven.
Yeah. It's really bizarre.
Well, the feedback that she got on season 1 was that she needed to be okay with being ugly sometimes. So she did the
Mission
zombie
achieved.
challenge. Right. No, for sure. Mission achieved. But
as long as it's not her real face.
There's more than one way to do it.
Yeah. Coco Kane.
Her performance is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
The shoes were I appreciated the cohesiveness of the outfit. I really liked her hat.
Mm-hmm.
Her performance totally saved her. I don't know that I necessarily got a lot of witch from her outfit.
Same.
Right. Without the hat, I would never have guessed it. I wish she had, and I understand why she maybe couldn't have, I wish she had performed with the hat. Because I think as a whole look, complete with the hat, it looks really cool. Like, I feel like that is like the modern witch.
Yeah.
I think that maybe Kendra was trying to think of.
Yeah. With the flats who can run.
Yeah.
Chasing people down.
But without it, it kind of just looked like her mummy one again, but just a little more, it looked like the same. I was like, okay, well, but the hat I thought was really cool. Yeah, the details on the hat I thought were neat. The tarot cards on the inside, I thought that was really cool, and it was a shame she left that out of her performance because I thought it would have worked well.
Yeah, Victoria.
This was a cool look, but it was I thought it was very like witch, like.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I thought of witch, that's probably what I would think of.
Yeah.
But I thought she sold it really well in her performance. She was dedicated to it. Probably not the best one for me of the night, but it's up there.
Yeah, I agree.
I really like Victoria. I love Victoria. I feel like Victoria's brain was like, okay, I've done this so many times, I'm not sure if I can come up with a new witch. And I think maybe that's where Kendra was too, but I'm not sure. I don't know. The look was okay when but her performance was just kind of for me. And she was another one that I really had a hard time clocking. And then I was like, oh yeah, that's right, she's the one-eyed necromancer. Got it. That's Victoria.
Yeah. I will agree. Her performance drug on. It was like probably some of the slowest parts of the edit for me. I was like, oh, she looks really cool, but
yeah,
she ain't doing much.
This song is still playing.
I really liked her shoes. I liked them so much. These are a witch's pair of shoes for sure. Not your modern day witch, but this is a witch's shoe for sure, hands down.
Yeah, cliffhangers aside, I really liked them.
Yovska.
Okay, so when Yoska, when Yoska was talking about her concept, and we saw what she had drawn for this concept, I was here for it. I was like, okay, cool, very like the witch from Hansel and Gretel, like Candy, all that. I was on board even with the wig.
Yep.
However, I feel like Yovska wasn't confident in her concept and started adding a bunch of things that just did not go with her idea. So there was no cohesiveness to this look by the time she came out for the floor show. So I was a little disappointed. And conceptually, I thought it was great. And then what I saw was very subpar and very just kind of like, oh, this looks like witch, or this is scary, I'm gonna add this here too, is what I got from it.
I hated this. That's it.
Valid.
Yeah.
I'm somewhere in between. I was super excited, again, like Zach, to see the gingerbread peppermint candy witch, but done in a super scary way. Not in an Erica Clash way, in a super scary way, right? And I really liked Yovska's shoes a lot. The performance was very shy. I love Yovska. I was so excited to see her come back. Their performance was very shy. If the cut that they used was her back to the camera, like this, like their back was to the camera. They didn't. I didn't see the shoes. There was so much wrong with the execution.
Yeah.
I said all that with love, but I really was excited for the look conceptually.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily how it actually.
I think Yovska's a little intimidated by the other competitors in the room.
I agree.
And can't fully realize the concept that they're trying to come up with during challenges.
I agree. And now it's time for critiques and things, and to find out who's tops and bottoms and up for eliminations and safes and whatnot.
Chess versus checkers.
Chess versus checkers.
Mm-hmm.
I love their commentary. Yes. By the way, they're still just as funny as ever. I'm glad they kept that in there from last season. It's great to see more of their personalities come out, and I love the Boulets.
Seriously.
But we find out that people who placed high are Hoso, Victoria, and Ava. And I agree, except for maybe Hoso.
I would have switched maybe Hoso and Abora.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think Abora deserved more credit, to be honest. I thought she did.
I also think that would be hilarious.
I guess it was because of the performance, which I understand, but Abora I thought really smashed more than some of these other people. Anywho's, people who placed low are Kendra, Yovska, and Melissa, but they tell Melissa not to worry. They've put her there because they want to critique her and give her some feedback, but they tell her pretty much immediately that she's off the table for being in the bottom two. Which I appreciated. Yeah.
Okay. So my question for the group is, would Abora have brought up the parchment paper if she knew Hoso was the one it belonged to?
Oh, absolutely not.
No.
I feel like Abora would fall on a sword for Hoso, like literally, and Hoso would remain on her phone.
Yeah, because my question for the group would be, would production have intentionally left the note for Abora to find if they thought Abora knew that Hoso had wrote it?
They leave it there. Hey, what's that?
Do we think production put it under the table because Abora was over there because she couldn't look at Hoso and Astrid snuggling on the couch talking about some hot candle wax, etc. things that is none of our business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
so
that just plays into the whole them being fake defending Abora thing. Because if you really cared about this person, would you be having those kind of conversations that you know are going to make them uncomfortable because of the way they feel about one or both of you? They're so two-faced and so shitty. I hate it. I can't stand it.
Yeah.
Okay, back to climbing the tower.
Yes, thank you. So Kendra and Yovska ascend the stairs where they're about to be potentially dropped into oblivion. Praying that everyone's just going to be Abora all season. But it's clear that's not how that's going to go. I will say, going into this, I agreed both of them were in the bottom. I wanted it to be Kendra that dropped.
Really?
I did. I'm sorry. I just couldn't. She comes off very basic. And I just feel like if this week and last week are any indication as to like what she's gonna do, I would rather see Yovska's stuff.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I feel like
I
feel like Kendra has the better mindset to be a competitor, but Yovska has brought some better like actual conceptualized looks than Kendra has so far.
Yeah,
I'll give you that.
Yeah, because that pumpkin last week was fantastic.
Yeah, that was so fun. And then Kendra's Frankenstein jacket. No, thank you. Tracy Morgan as Frankenstein.
But it happens so fast. Like they just say the name and it drops.
Yes, I love that.
Like it is so. And then I don't know if anybody else watches it with the closed captioning on, but there was a toilet flush at the end.
There was.
So funny.
Yes. Poor Yovska. Eliminated. Yes.
Oh.
And her picture gets added to the framed iPads on the wall. So that wraps up everything from episode 2. Let's see how everybody else reacted. It's time for top tweets. All right, let's discuss scoreboard. Lots of ties, but people are starting to pull ahead. Some people are starting to fall back, and that's nice to see right out the gate. So Abora, no longer eliminated, no longer in 10th place. She has risen to 9th. Victoria's still in the lead, but she's now tied with Ava. Both have placed high both weeks, and now they've each won a challenge. So they're doing exactly the same right now. And I have a feeling these are going to be the two main ones to watch all season long. And that's really exciting to me. Astrid and Hoso are both tied for 3rd and 4th. Melissa and Coco, 5th, 6th adjacent. Kendra and Erica, 7th and 8th adjacent. Abora's the only one outlied, coming in 9th solidly. But I have a feeling if Abora can do more of what she did in this episode, I think she'll pull ahead a little bit. Mm-hmm. I think that's nice. I am expecting, based on the math, for there to be somewhere between, depending on if they have an official reunion or not, which I'm anticipating they might, but somewhere between 1 to 3 episodes where maybe nobody goes home, because we still have 8 episodes left, and there's too many people. So if we go into the finale with 3 to 4, then we have too many episodes actually compared to competitors. So there's got to be a point where they stall a little bit. Which initially I didn't think would be a problem.
Or somebody comes back.
This is true. I'm really excited for Victoria and Ava to see what they do.
Yeah, I really thought Coco was going to be a much stronger competitor than she has been so far.
I was hoping she would be. I was really hoping she would be. Nope. And I was mentally prepared for Hoso to start dominating. Final thoughts? Anything else?
No, not quite as dramatic as last week, but still pretty full of some drama. I was here for it.
Yeah.
Fantastic episode.
There's still time. And if the Blaze have anything to say about it, I'm sure Astrid, Hoso, and Abora will all 3 be in the competition as long as humanly possible. That's where things shake out as we wrap up episode 2 and go into episode 3. Moving right along. But if you'd like to hang around as we continue to cover Dragula Titans, you can subscribe to the PG Media channel so you don't miss out. You can also find a little bit of social media information in the description below. And With that being said, as always,
thank you for watching highlights.
And we'll see you next time.